2, or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
The public is advised that for its convenience, the Passport Office Issuance Section only will be open for collection of passports on the following Saturdays during the month of August 2018 from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, August 4th, Saturday, August 11th, Saturday, August 18th, Saturday, August 25th.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, first at 6. Court action puts Shantytown demolitions on hold. Hear details of action filed in court on Friday. Also ahead tonight, there's new life at the PMH maternity ward. We'll tell you why. And a new anti-drug trafficking agreement to be signed between the Bahamas and the U.S. The Bahamas tonight, first at 6, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Topping the news tonight, the government will have to stand down for now on its plan to evict Shantytown residents and demolish their homes. The eviction would have taken effect on Friday, but a court injunction has put a stop to it. Chairman of the Shantytown Action Task Force, Senator the Honorable Dion Folks, had these comments on the matter outside Cabinet today.
The Prime Minister has given me firm instructions and our task force firm instructions to proceed with all of the programs that we have in the Family Islands, namely in Abaco, Eleuthera, and North Andros in particular. We have already established a task force in Abaco, which is almost 90% completed with their survey. They have to go to Hopetown this coming weekend, and we anticipate that they will be finished by early next week. So we should get a good picture in terms of the population of the five shantytowns in Abaco and in Hopetown. Additionally, we are establishing a task force in Eleuthera and also in Andros, so we can proceed with I think there are about 11 shantytowns on Eleuthera, but they are relatively small. The largest one, of course, is in Spanish Wells.
In other news, discussions ongoing between health officials and the Bahamas Nurses Union over the controversial 4-on, 4-off shift system, which the Public Hospitals Authority wants to implement. The president of the Bahamas Nurses Union indicated recently that the proposed shifts will result in increased burnout for nurses, increased medical errors, and a lack of quality service. Meantime, Deputy Hospital Administrator Jessica Cartwright is hoping the matter will be resolved soon.
The union has been engaged with us. I cannot today tell you where we stand with that, but I do know it's something that the ministry and the PHA is working through with the nurses union.
Well, Cartwright also spoke to the new fee structures that are expected to be implemented at the hospital.
There have been discussions. We all know that healthcare is not free. And we also know and appreciate that the government has certain mandates. We do have a gazette that we have to follow for our fee structure, and we are asking the public to appreciate that. But the work to actually inform the public as to where we're going with our fees is ongoing.
Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands, meantime, says he's looking to resolve those outstanding issues with nurses. Last week, the Nurses Union called a press conference to set the record straight on a number of matters, including money owed and other benefits. He says numerous meetings have taken place with the union and health officials outside Cabinet today. Dr. Sands explained how those concerns will be addressed.
I believe that we have made excellent progress in terms of resolving not just some, but all of the issues. And it is hoped that certainly with this pay period in August 2018, that except for those items that can't be verified or can't be validated, that all of those issues should not only be resolved but paid. Nurses play an important role in the delivery of healthcare. Certainly, my administration in health has made their concerns an absolute priority. And so we are willing to move the inertia of government, the bureaucracy of government, to get their issues resolved and the issues of any employee of the Ministry of Health.
Well, insisting that those matters will be resolved soon, the health minister says the important thing must be the care of patients of the Bahamas.
We're going to get this resolved. And then afterwards, we're going to sit down and we're going to have a ceremonial or metaphoric breaking of bread. Because we are partners in the provision of health, and I have no interest in maintaining anything other than a good, amicable working relationship with all of the stakeholders in health. So this too shall pass.
Well, still ahead, we'll give you the latest on what the Red Cross is doing to raise money.
When school ends, BTC summer vacation begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
Like a flying over season, when she touch down, she not stop call me. And I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no cute like a Bob Marley. Me fix them.
Freedom to mix and, of course, mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summer Vacation for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more.
Okay.
BTC, the bigger, better network.
My name is Dawn Pinder. I work at Great Cliff Chocolate and Cigar Company. I am the inventory manager. I have been a customer of Commonwealth Bank for the past 3 years, March 2015 to be exact. At this time, I have a loan with them. That was the reason why I went to Commonwealth Bank. And I now have my checking account and my savings account with Commonwealth Bank. It was easy, simple. They trusted me. I didn't have any accounts with them and they gave me the loan. I will recommend Commonwealth Bank to my friends. I have actually recommended it to a few of my co-workers here that have had the exact same experience that I've had at Commonwealth Bank. I would definitely say that Commonwealth Bank is the bank for the Bahamian people.
What would you do with your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes? Show your KFC bucket love and get a chance to win your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes. Display your bucket love sticker for a chance to win. You could be one of 10 gold ticket winners with a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize and get started on your bucket list. Stick it to win today. Bucket love. KFC Nassau. It's finger licking good.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
An agreement scheduled to be signed tomorrow at the office of the Prime Minister between the government of the Bahamas and the United States on narcotics control. Press Secretary Anthony Newmold made the announcement today.
This amendment will focus on anti-corruption and transparency-related initiatives, and we know again, this is something that the Prime Minister is very much concerned with. However, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honourable Darren Henfield, will sign that amendment on behalf of the Bahamas. Ceremony, of course, will take place right here upstairs in the office of the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister, of course, as I said, anti-corruption and transparency-related initiatives, the Prime Minister will take the opportunity to speak during that ceremony.
To other news now, opposition leader Philip Brave Davis addressing the deal which fell through to purchase the Grand Lucayan and Grand Bahama. Last week, Press Secretary Anthony Newbold told reporters that Wynn's proposal was unacceptable to government, but Mr. Davis is blaming the government for the deal not going through.
The over-the-hill redevelopment initiative will be on its way. 2 workshops I talked about as well last week.
Well, we apologize for that. We'll have more on that coming up in the Bahamas tonight at 7. Meantime, the festival place, entry to thousands of cruise ship passengers, may be headed for privatization. More enhancements are also planned for the site of the Prince George Wharf. Director General of Tourism, Joy Jibrilu.
We do know that the government is looking at privatization of Festival Place. Now, whether that's a public-private partnership, whether that is totally wholly private sector, we're not exactly sure. But while those plans are afoot and while applications have been received and proposals to privatize that, the Ministry of Tourism is watching. We continue to upgrade, but we're watching because we're watching the timeline as to when the privatization could possibly take effect. But that's the bigger picture.
Already some changes have taken place at Festival Place, which is a key connection point for visitors.
Tourism continues to work towards upgrading and making it a better experience at Festival Place at the Port of Nassau. We know that this is our busiest port of entry. We have approximately 3 million visitors pass through the Port of Nassau and through Festival Place every year.
The Bahamas Red Cross is known for its extensive charity work across the country, and although the organization has multiple fundraisers each year, Director General Caroline Turnquest says a major portion of the funds raised go toward daily operational expenses. That's why they're appealing to the public.
We have the Meals on Wheels program. We have persons walking and looking for assistance, and so those funds are needed for the day-to-day running of our programs. And the fair has not been quite as successful for the past few years. And the ball has been successful. However, when those funds come in, those monies are spent already. We're also looking at having other fundraisers because we find now that the fundraisers that we're having are insufficient to cover all of the expenses associated with running those programs.
Now, Turnquest adds that the charity is planning more fundraisers this year to replace cash that would have already been spent.
Currently, we're planning a golf tournament to be held on August 26th, and we're also getting ready for our annual raffle. So very, very soon, you should see the raffle tickets hitting the streets. And this is where we need the public support so drastically to help us to push those tickets to make sure that we raise funds. We're now trying to put back funds that we would have used to purchase food, to purchase bedding, to purchase cleaning supplies, etc. We're now looking to put those funds, replace those funds.
Well, yesterday, the Member of Parliament for Pinewood provided a special treat for a group of his constituents. Jiminy DeSwain was there as they boarded a floating hotel.
Well, Royal Caribbean is a part of this community. You know, we've been here for over 50 years now. Our very first ship that ever sailed for Royal Caribbean Cruises came from Miami and came straight to this port, to the Port of Nassau. So we're really happy to be a part of the community. We employ about 1,250 people here right now. We bring over 1.2 million visitors every single year to the Bahamas, and we love this destination. And this is a chance for us to sort of give back, I think, to a little bit to the community.
One way of giving back on Monday was allowing 30 residents, including the Member of Parliament for Pinewood, Reuben Ramming, to tour portions of the Oasis of the Seas vessel. Making up the group was Vice President of Government Relations for Royal Caribbean, Russell Banford, who touted the Bahamas as the cruise line's #1 destination they're hoping to attract more visitors to cruise to.
We have great plans for Nassau. Right now we bring 1.2 million. Our plans are to expand that in 2 years to bring up to 1.7 million people to Nassau. So the Port of Nassau and the Bahamas are our #1 destination in the world. This is an incredibly important destination to us. So the opportunities here, we're just at the beginning. We bring a lot of people now, but we're just getting started with the things we want to do with this community. So you're going to see a lot of growth from us, a lot of opportunity for jobs, for small businesses, and we just want the community community in Nassau and the Bahamas to grow as we grow as a company.
Once on board, the Pinewood Group toured various segments of the ship, starting at the Royal Promenade, where Hotel Director Kevin Thorogood spoke about what sets the ship apart from other vessels.
She's 225,000 gross tons, making her the largest vessel on board on the Seven Seas. We currently have just over 6,500 guests on board with us this cruise, and we have just under 2,200 crew. So 8,700 people are cruising with us every single week. And ever since she came out in 2009, she's been full every single cruise.
Member of Parliament for Pinewood Ruben Ramming is hoping more persons will see the cruise line as an option for employment.
We know that in this archipelagical nation that grandmothers play a pivotal role in guiding families. And what we want to do in Pinewood is to position our people in the spirit of get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready for opportunities that will be at hand with the expansion of great corporate citizens like the Royal Caribbean brand.
While the tour took in the entertainment areas and even a walk through Central Park before lunch, these residents were impressed with what they saw and hoped more young people are eager to take part.
Here is beautiful, it's elegant, and the opportunity is vast for our young Bahamians to come and take part. I've seen that they have a lot of job opportunity.
It's tourism on the sea. And I believe that this would be the next best thing to develop in terms of our employment for young people who are seeking new adventure, new employment.
Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Well, that does it for this segment. Stay tuned, though. Sports with Jonathan Benson is straight ahead.
The news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Growing up as a child, my father hosted a summer basketball program called Southern Recreation Youth Basketball Program, and it was held right on the government grounds, as we commonly call it. And one day, one of the guys asked, "Which one of your parents do you live with?" And I said, "Both." And he said, "They live in the same house?" I said, "Yeah." And he was surprised, and he said, "Wow." And it was then that I realized that I was privileged and I had the advantage of having both parents to give me that extra boost. And that's why the Over the Hill Community Initiative is so important, because they're tasked with the job of empowering and inspiring all of the people in the community, but especially those who did not have the advantage as I did.
The proceeding was brought to you courtesy of the Over the Hill project.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Freedom Farm Baseball representing the Bahamas at the Cal Ripken Babe Ruth 12 and Unders World Series in Branson, Missouri. The 2-4-2 getting off to a winning start on Saturday, taking down Australia 14-4 behind winning pitcher Cleve Sutherland. They followed that up with another impressive 12-1 win over New Zealand yesterday. Andrew Arthur, the winning pitcher, going the distance. He allowed no hits and struck out 8. Also good at the plate. 2 runs batted in and a run scored. Lavaro DeVoe, he finished up with a home run. 3 runs batted in and 3 runs scored. Daniel Gator also going 3 RBIs and a run scored. Now the Bahamas back on the field again today, and they suffered their first loss 8-3 to Puerto Rico. Arthur had another good day, the only 3 hits for the Bahamas, which included a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Team Bahamas will play again tomorrow in the classification rounds. From the minor league baseball diamond yesterday, Todd Isaacs 2 for 4, a run scored to lead Lake County by Great Lakes 4-2. Lucius Fox was 2 for 5, an RBI and a run scored in Montgomery's 12-2 win over Pensacola. Anthony Seymour 1 for 4, a run scored for Jupiter. They won 7-6 over St. Lucie. Chavez Young 1 for 4 for Lansing, and they lost to Fort Wayne 5-4. In the Arizona League, Christian Robinson was 3 for 5, a double, 2 runs scored. Dominic Culley 1 for 2, a run scored for the Diamondbacks, and they won over the Padres 11-6. Trent DeVoe 0 for 3, a run scored for the Angels, and a 3-2 loss to the Brewers. In the Dominican League, Keith Ron Moss was 1 for 3, an RBI and 2 runs scored for the Rangers. They shut out the Rays 10-0. Meantime, in the Gulf Coast League, Chavez Fernando pitching an inning of relief, allowed no hits, no runs, but the Tigers, they lost to the Blue Jays, a final of 6-2. The Bahamas taking part in the CONCACAF Girls Under-15 Soccer Championships, currently going on in Florida. The 2-4-2 lost their opening match yesterday, 4-1 to the Cayman Islands. Gabrielle Sims scored the lone goal for Team Bahamas, who was right back on the pitch again today against St. Lucia. They were shut out in this one 2-0. Tomorrow is an off day for the Bahamas. They return to the pitch on Thursday against Guyana, who sports an identical 0-2 win-loss record. The International Tennis Federation, they're staging their Coca-Cola Junior Tennis Tournament this week in St. Lucia. Dante Ambrister winning his first round match easily 6-2 over Liam Shepard of Trinidad and Tobago. 2 games tonight in the New Providence Softball Association as they return from the holiday break. It's another ladies doubleheader. Up first, the Hennessy Panthers taking on the Sunshine Auto Wildcats. That's followed by the Platinum Pool Sharks and the BTC Warriors. The Bahamas Basketball Federation's Summer of Thunder Series, that is set to resume tomorrow with 3 games. Notre Dame and IBA Elite, they tip things off 5 p.m. at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. Alabama State, they follow at 7 against the Atlantis All-Stars. Also beginning 7 p.m. at the Imperial Ballroom in Atlantis, the Kentucky Wildcats, they begin their Big Blue Tour. That's a 4-game series, and first up will be our men's national team. The Black Point Regatta Homecoming, that closed out yesterday in Exuma. Whitty K once again in a class all by herself, taking all 3 series races and the ocean race, making it 11 wins in a row. As for the organizers, they were simply elated with how this year's event went.
This is one of the best we've had in my time. Everything went well, it was peaceful. You know, the boat put on quite a good show. So everybody said it was the best.
This is the Super Bowl of regattas because this weekend everybody was focused on what's happening in Black Point. Says a lot of what you guys have been doing.
We had about probably over 1,000 people or more this weekend. You know, that's that one boat we had was Whitty K, very dominating. I mean, there's nothing you can do with him. He's very dominating. There's 11 straight in Black Point. 11 straight fights in Black Point. So it was a good show.
And that is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Your life is in the moment and on the go. And your credit card? It's right there with you. Turn on mobile location confirmation for your Visa credit card from CIBC First Caribbean and reduce the likelihood of declined transactions when you travel. CIBC First Caribbean. Banking that fits your life.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come.
My first memory of music would have been a performance when everyone was singing the song. The song was Drop Down and Come Up Slow, and everyone in the crowd was singing. I was amazed. I was in shock.
I
did not always want to be a performer. You know, I actually wanted to be a doctor. And when I was on my way to med school, I had this whole epiphany, and I went to Berklee College of Music, and that's when I made the switch.
If I weren't singing, I'd be singing. I love track and field though.
Many different things inspire me. You know, it isn't anything specific. It's just, you know, just enjoying the environment. And that's what I think music should be about, being free.
Tap of a button, I'm able to get in contact with persons all the way across the world. Technology acts as that bridge that keeps me connected.
BTC in one word, I would have to say clutch.
Connected. Family.
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 Every day, every day, every day.
The public is advised that for its convenience, the passport office issuance section only will be open for collection of passports on the following Saturdays during the month of August 2018 from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, August 4th, Saturday, August 11th, Saturday, August 18th, Saturday, August 25th. Where applicable, members of the public are reminded to bring their receipts and passports at the time of collection. Please note that all third-party collections must be accompanied by a signed letter of authorization from the passport holder or guardian, relevant passport and receipt, and a valid government-issued identification, passport, driver's license, or NIB smart card of the person authorized to collect.
Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Missed something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, well, we have something to talk about in the tropics this evening. We have subtropical storm Debbie formed earlier today in the north central Atlantic Ocean, and it is now packing winds of about 40 miles per hour. It's moving toward the north at around 15 miles per hour, but we expect Debbie to slow down over the next day or so as it heads into the cooler waters of the Atlantic. And once it gets into the cooler waters, we expect Debbie to kind of fall apart. But until then, we will continue to monitor Debbie tonight and tomorrow. We do not see Debbie lasting more than about 24 hours as it treks towards the north, as we said, about 15 miles per hour. And then on the home front, we have a tropical wave that's also moving toward the west across the northwest part of the country, and that will provide some cloudiness and 1 or 2 showers tonight as well as it makes that trek towards the west. In the southeast Bahamas, things are clearing up. Winds around 15 to 20 knots, so we have caution flags in place for your boaters in the southeast Bahamas. And up in the extreme northwest part of our country, Grand Bahama, Abaco, the weather there is pretty fine, but there are 1 or 2 offshore showers that could move inland later on this evening. Outside of our studios here at ZNS, we have cloudy skies, temperature 86 degrees, your relative humidity 69%. The winds out of the south-southeast at 9 miles per hour, your barometric pressure 1,018.0 millibars. That is 30.07 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Well, that'll do it for us. And first at 6, stay tuned, though. The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
before the courts this morning for that John Bull robbery. A trade union is expressing concern regarding the labor movement in the country. And the police force summer camp coming to a close.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, police making a big break in the John Bull robbery case. The heist that took place over 2 weeks ago in the Port Lucayan marketplace. The robbers, who were dressed as women, took off with watches valued around some $500,000. The suspects reportedly fled the scene on foot and then made their escape in a stolen black Infiniti car that was later recovered. This morning, 2 male residents of New Providence appeared in the magistrate court in Freeport to face formal charges. Italia Hall has the details.
Onlookers watched as the two accused men entered the court. Both men were arraigned in Magistrate Court Number 1 before Deputy Chief Magistrate Debbie Ferguson. 31-year-old Caradon Coburn of New Providence, dressed in a blue and white striped shirt, and 23-year-old Diego Carey of Soldier Road, New Providence, dressed in a dark gray jacket and using crutches, are both charged with conspiracy to commit a robbery on the 23rd of July, where 35 men's and ladies' Rolex watches were stolen, as well as 2 men's Breitling watches from John Bull in Freeport. Coburn is also charged with possession of proceeds of criminal conduct, as he was allegedly found in possession of some $21,281 cash in Bahamian and U.S. currency on July 29th. He is represented by attorney Dion Ferguson. As for Carey, he's also charged with dishonestly receiving 5 Rolex watches valued at $58,400 on July 31st. He's represented by attorney Osmond Johnson. Both of the accused men pleaded not guilty to the charges and chose to have their cases heard in the magistrate court. Deputy Chief Magistrate Ferguson asked Carey why did he have crutches. He explained that he owns a water sport company in New Providence and broke his femur bone a month and a half ago while taking part in a water sport activity. But while crying, he claimed that he was tortured while in police custody and was not allowed to make a phone call, adding that attorney Osmond Johnson only knew about his case because a photo of him went viral on social media. As it relates to Carey's claim of being tortured, police prosecutor Veron Rolls stated that it is only an allegation. The prosecutors and counsel for Coburn then debated whether or not bail should be granted. Counsel for Coburn raised the point that his client does not have any antecedents, while the prosecutor said that both defendants can be flight risks, as they are from New Providence. Bail was denied for both men, but they were advised that they can apply to the Supreme Court for bail. In the meantime, Coburn and Carey were both remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until trial on October 4th of this year. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
As the government works to seal a deal for the purchase of the Grand Lucayan Resort, the leader of the organization that represents line staff at that property is applauding the government for committing to step in if the need arises. Sabrina Brown reports.
President of the Commonwealth Union of Hotel Services and Allied Workers, Michelle Dorset, is optimistic about the future of the Grand Lucayan Resort. She says she's confident that the government will do all within its power to ensure that the island's anchor property remains open, securing the jobs of hundreds of Grand Bahama residents. The union leader is encouraging the hotel workers to remain hopeful, noting that there is no need to fear. Dorset also noting that she is confident that the government will bring in quality resort brands and the right management companies to put the beachfront property back on the right track. The Grand Lucayan has been partially closed for almost 2 years now, and a number of buyers were said to be involved in the sale of that property, including the Wynn Group. However, during a recent trip to Grand Bahama, the nation's leader Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis noted that the sale is far from complete. The Prime Minister also noting recently that the government is still prepared to purchase the Grand Lucayan if it cannot find a buyer. The Commonwealth Union leader says she believes that further details concerning the purchase of the hotel could be released soon, and she says she will remain focused on ensuring that her members are protected. She says the union plans to meet with its members next week to outline the way forward. Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
A local trade unionist is expressing concern regarding the state of the labor movement in the country. Tonight, the veteran union leader is calling on the organizations that represent workers throughout the country to return to the strong forces that they once were and to be more than what he calls contract negotiators. Area Vice President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Quintin LaRota, says that unions began as a movement with a lot of support from the general public. He says that the average Bahamian could have identified with the leaders of unions and the greats of the past. But now, he says, he believes unions are not as strong as they used to be at a time when the trade union movement is needed more than ever.
The world is changing quickly. We have things like WTO, other international agreements, international agencies advising the government, multilateral and bilateral arrangements they're signing on to, and the unions must be intimately involved. We must be educated. We must know what we're doing so we could properly advise our members. We were once heavily reliant on industrial action tactics. We have a change in the worker where the average worker don't only rely on the union for mobility. They look at their education, getting a degree. They rely on other things. So we have to become more relevant to the worker so that the worker could continue to support the unions.
He says that unions must also be more innovative and use intelligence to address concerns. He says they must be tactical and smart.
Some of the old ways, they're not going to intimidate the government anymore, so we have to adjust. And when we do use any industrial action tactic, we have to mean business, shut it down, and don't play. It cannot be half-hearted, half-stepping without any effect, because they just look at you and they just move on. And they just move on. We have to be taken seriously. And a part of being taken seriously is not just the ability to create industrial action, but also the ability to articulate a vision and an argument using laws, practices, best policies, just human rights, human dignities to create a irresistible argument on behalf of your people.
The union executive says that leaders must also be persons of integrity.
You criticize an employer for not giving their employee the benefits they're entitled to, and then you as a union deny your employee his or her benefit. You're a hypocrite. And the public will lose confidence in you and not take you seriously. And the members also will see it and say, you know something, this isn't something I should be a part of. And so we have to have integrity. We have to have the respect of the country, the respect of our employers. And they have to look at us as reasonable, but strong and tough.
The Royal Bahamas Police Force Summer Camp program coming to a close on Friday. For several weeks, young persons from east to west on Grand Bahama were able to see officers of the police force in a different light as they spent time mentoring and having some fun with the children of Grand Bahama. Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, noting that her daughter also took part in the camp and had an exceptional time.
As parents, I know many of us are very happy to know that our children are in a safe environment in which they are learning about discipline and teamwork and also about doing right by themselves. I think that over the years, this camp has indeed done that for our young people in this community. And on a personal note, as well as that from the government, I do believe that all members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force should be given a round of applause. Campers, join me in thanking them for everything that they do.
Bishop George Thompson of Community at Heart Tabernacle Church of God of Prophecy telling the young campers that they should be grateful to the officers and volunteers for their hard work and dedication to the camp.
I say to you, young people, hundreds and thousands of people have lifelong changing decisions through the camping ministry. Many summer camp participants return home with a renewed passion to give service to their fellow man. It was at camp that I established a relationship with Christ and made lasting friendship with peers who have become leaders in both the church and the community. It was in the camping program where I was taught Christian values and morals, and the many fun times and the recreation and the tutoring and the mentoring brought out the best in me and helped me to become the person I am today.
You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us, there's more news right after this break.
The news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
What if the solutions to your household challenges was just around the corner? Like upgrading to rooms-to-go furniture, landscaping your property, modernizing your kitchen, fixing your plumbing and electrical issues, Ace Paint for your home, television upgrade, and electronics. Tools to simplify household repair, awesome kitchen gadgets and utensils, machines and tools for yard work, outdoor furniture and grilling supplies. You've got challenges, Dolly Madison's got the solutions.
Come on down. Now.
Tired of the endless bank fees and long lines? The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union is the solution to making your money work for you by providing you with free financial counseling, higher interest on savings plans, and lower interest rates on loans. Savings products such as Christmas and vacation club, fixed deposits, and annuity savings allow our members to prepare for today and tomorrow without all of the hassle. Join satisfied Bahamians who left their banking frustrations behind. Open an account with GBCCU 352-4139.
You can win big with Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal. Not only will you get 2 delicious medium one-topping pizzas, 5 breadsticks, and juicy wings, and a refreshing 2-liter Coke, you get to enter to win a fabulous 7-day Caribbean cruise for 2 with Gateway Travel on Carnival Cruise Lines.
Mom and Dad can use it, and we got money.
Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal can make you a winner. Other prizes also available. Win big.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. And now to our weekly Generation Y report. Our Italia Hall speaks with a young man who is passionate about music. In this report, he shares some of his challenges and how he has worked hard to overcome them.
I say people always ask why I'm such a good rapper. I'm from the Bahamas, where we eat conch and snapper, guava duff, and eat fish to the bone. This the Bahamas come to sit on a throne.
You may have heard this song before. Written by Darren Palacios, also known as Wizard. He says his rapping career began at the age of 10 when he was captivated by Michael Jackson. He says after watching the pop star perform on television, he fell in love with music, and while in school he was given an opportunity to perform for his classmates.
I had a lot of imagination, so I didn't know how to how to put sentences together and paint a picture, tell stories. So I always used to write a lot, write stories, poems, different stuff, and all that helped me to build my lyrics.
But as he got older, he said it was not always easy because some persons did not take his passion seriously, and it was hard to get opportunities to perform.
Nobody could tell you be happy, nobody could tell you be sad. You either sad or you happy. So with your dream, you either pursue your dream or you don't pursue your dream. How much people is rap? How much people trying to rap? How much people in the world trying to do the same thing that you trying to do? So you can't just be You can't just be mediocre.
Darren says after a while, people started to listen to his music and his craft got better. But he says for him, originality and Bahamian culture is key.
You can't get no more original than Bahamian. Like, it's our voice. God didn't give birth to me to sound like the next country. So people want to hear stuff that they can relate to. Like, they know they eat conch, they know they eat snapper, they know what's going on in the political world.
Now 26 years old, he says there are a lot of lessons that he has learned in the field over the years. Darren says he's now working on a lot of new music that he's trying to get out internationally.
The circus smart, where you in these streets? How you trust a nigga that you barely meet? Just cause he lying and stay loyal.
Reach Out Youth Organization receiving a generous donation recently from a new company on Grand Bahama. Founder of Reach Out, Dudley Sade, says that they were having a difficult time sustaining the feeding program in recent times, but this donation is an answered prayer.
We feed about 80 to 100 kids every day. So I want to say a special thank you to them. They're a new company, but they decide to put their money where their mouth is. They're also going to make a donation also to our back to school program. So I want to say also thank you for them. Their donation is going to go a long way. Like I said, we normally take care of the kids who have no breakfast in the morning. So I just want to say God has answered our prayers. And because of that donation, we'll be able to feed the less fortunate kids here in Grand Bahama.
Payless Snackables will donate to the program for the rest of the year. Owner Gary Smith says that he has seen the work that Reach Out does within the community and he wanted to assist. He is also encouraging other businesses to do their part.
Anything that's for the youth, we're all for it. So, we just want to be a part of it, and we encourage, all the other small business, all large business to come and to participate in it, And I just lead to the public, if you could make it a donation to Reach Out, it'd be good, So I just advise anyone who's in a position to do it, to Reach Out and to help Reach Out with a donation.
And now it is time to ask the doctor.
Welcome. More on heat-related disorders. Heat stroke is the most dangerous and has the potential to result in the most serious medical complications and even death if emergency medical treatment is not provided immediately. This can occur if your body temperature rises to 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius or higher. If untreated, heat stroke can quickly damage your brain, heart, kidneys, and muscles. The damage worsens the longer treatment is delayed. It causes your body to overheat, usually as a result of prolonged exposure to or physical exertion in high temperatures. Besides nausea, vomiting, and headaches, some of the more serious symptoms include altered mental state or behavior, such as confusion, agitation, slurred speech, irritability, delirium, seizures, and a coma. Your skin may also feel hot and dry to touch, or if brought on by strenuous exercise, your skin may feel moist. So if you suspect that someone may be having symptoms of a heat stroke, please call 919 for an ambulance immediately and follow the instructions given to you by the emergency dispatcher. I'm Dr. Wendy Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away. Sports is up next with Ramiko Knowles.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Mo Divas Beauty Zone. Be beautiful, be you. Located at #1 Britannia Mini Mall, Caravel Beach.
It's back to school and back to school savings at Bellevue Business Depot. For all of your back to school and teacher supplies, they have it all at an extra 20% off retail price. Crayons, glue, markers, crayon pencils, backpack, character bags, meat notebooks, and teacher supplies for the classroom, and much, much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the backpack bundles for preschool, primary school, and high school, loaded with all the supplies you need for back to school. Teachers get your first 8-foot butcher fadeless paper free when you purchase a minimum of 10 feet, as well as additional discounts at the Coffee Center. All at Bellevue Business Depot, located on Queens Highway. This portion of the news is brought to you by Exquisite Weddings, providing you stunning creations for a memorable occasion. Call today 559-5070.
We've raised the stakes. We've raised the bar. We've raised the standard. Your new entertainment playground. Winners take chances. Chances makes winners. Chances remind you to game responsibly.
Lay low in Bimini, it's regatta time. From August 9th through the 12th, sailing, junk canoe, Stevie S, food, folks, and fun at the Bimini Regatta.
Welcome to sports, everybody. I'm Ramiko Knowles, talking sports this evening. After a decade of chasing her dreams of becoming a professional bodybuilder, this husband and wife duo has a reason to celebrate. Shanice Storm Bean, aka Miss Bean, is no stranger to the world of bodybuilding. Shanice has been on a quest of becoming a professional bodybuilder some time now, and today, Shanice and her husband Desmond Bean can say that the journey is complete.
It's like an overwhelming experience. I'm like, man, if this is what the glory of God feels like, I want more of this. This victory is awesome. I'm still in the beginning stages of it, but it's an awesome feeling. God is good.
Miss Bean is fresh out of competition at the 2018 National Physique Committee Teen Collegiate and Master National Championships in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where she finished first overall in the Women's Figure Master D class, making her goal of becoming a professional bodybuilder a reality.
I didn't quite, when I started off, set out to get a pro card, but when you chasing that spirit of excellence, you just kind of end up there. So it's been a long time coming. A lot of aches and pains, a lot of trials and tribulations, but a lot of good stuff along the journey. But I learned 3 things. 1, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. 2, never, ever give up. And 3, it comes when the Lord is ready for you to have it. But I knew it was coming, just didn't know when it was coming.
Shanice's husband, Antrina Desmond Bean, says he's happy to see this dream of theirs come true and gives all thanks to God.
I feel so great inside because this is something that she's wanted so very, very badly, and I'm thankful to God for him giving me the ability to allow her to accomplish this goal. So as a husband and / trainer, I feel very blessed.
For those seeking a career in professional bodybuilding, Storm adds that it's not about the win, it's about living a healthy life. On to the tennis court now. The Grand Bahama Tennis Association closing out its August Monday doubles tournament at the Freeport Resort this weekend. Jay Philippe reports.
Grand Bahama Tennis Association wishes to thank all the players, spectators, sponsors, and other supporters for making this past weekend's tournament a tremendous success. Congratulations are extended to all winners and runners-up in each category. In ladies doubles, Doris Knowles and Vicky Watson defeated Mary Gibbs and Tracy Jervis 7-5. Mixed doubles, Jesse Rutherford and Stanley Wilson defeated Tracy Jervis and James Rhodes 6-2. A men's doubles, Rayon Higgs and Lee Gibbs defeated Clarence Heald and Larry Hall 7-5. In B men's doubles, David Thompson and Patrick Kemp defeated Enrico and Paul Edgecombe. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Jay Philippe.
And that's your check on sports. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ramiko Knowles.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
They call him Mr. Cardio Blast, and now he's making history in another expanding industry. Phenomenal graduates doing some phenomenal things, and a phenomenal weight loss story in the fitness trainer behind his success. And get ready for a phenomenal word.
Manifestation is coming to your house. Believe God. Trust God. No matter what's happening in the country, no matter what's happening in your house, you got to believe the report and the word of God.
Phenomenal with Joan Davis Roll.
This Friday at 8 p.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
Business owners are excited about ZNS Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in.
The public is advised that for its convenience, the passport office issuance section only will be open for collection of passports on the following Saturdays during the month of August 2018 from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, August 4th, Saturday, August 11th, Saturday, August 18th, Saturday, August 25th. Where applicable, members of the public are reminded to bring their receipts and passports at the time of collection. Please note that all third-party collections must be accompanied by a signed letter of authorization from the passport holder or guardian, relevant passport and receipt, and a valid government-issued identification, passport, driver's license, or NIB smart card of the person authorized to collect.
The Bahamas has quite a story to tell. The sweep of its history and the distinctiveness of its people and culture weave a tale that captivates and fascinates anyone who hears it. From our pirate past to our quiet revolution, from cave paintings in Rum Cay to the creations on Bay Street every Boxing Day and New Year's. There are stories of shocking strife and stunning revival, devastating loss and spectacular success. And above all, the wonderful human story of how Bahamians settled and thrived on these barren rocks and keys, developed a vibrant culture, and created the best little country in the world. This year, ZNS TV 13 will be honoring this wonderful legacy with the 13 on TV 13 documentary series on all kinds of subjects, designed to inform, educate, and entertain you and share with you, the people, their stories and the glories that is the Bahamas. We invite you to join us.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Missed something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Hundreds of extraordinary Bahamians make up the heart and soul of Commonwealth Brewery's dedicated team. Influencing each generation, there's one sound that is undeniably Bahamian: the sound of the cowbell.
We actually brew this beer from scratch, all done by Bahamians. I've been with CBL now for 32 years.
27 years. 18 years.
23 years.
If it's made in the Bahamas by Bahamians, then of course it is Bahamian.
As a young man at the University of the Bahamas, I have dreams, goals, and ambitions just like everyone else. My wheelchair does not limit me. And neither does my university.
We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up.
Brought to you by UBTV and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. Shantytown residents fight a government plan to move them out. Ahead tonight, details of the action filed in court last week. Also ahead tonight, new life at the PMH maternity ward. And 2 are killed in traffic accidents. Why the nature of the accidents have police on alert. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Topping the news, a judicial review filed on behalf of Shantytown residents asserts that applicants have the full protection of the law to which every person in the Bahamas is entitled. That's part of the basis of their case they're preparing to go to the Supreme Court with as they seek to stop eviction and demolitions, which were set for this Friday, August 10th. An injunction was filed Friday, putting any government action pertaining to shantytowns here in New Providence on hold. Tonight we have details of why the largely Haitian ethnic group believes they should have a right to lay claim to the land they've settled on for years. The affidavit of Stephanie St. Fleur, the president of Rights Bahamas, notes that unregulated communities have emerged in New Providence in the last 4 decades, and the government presumes that it is Crown land to which the Crown is absolutely entitled, though admitting that grants and leases have been made in respect to the land. She submits that a large group of residents believe these leases or grants still exist, and therefore they have a right to occupy the land. The affidavit further notes that the eradication policy appears to be explained by the government as an attempt to command decades after the fact that everyone comply with rules regarding building permits, and suggests that that is not the objective at all. She reasons that the land which constitutes shantytowns was mainly in rural areas which were out of sight and out of mind and were known to exist and were tolerated. She says as urban centers approached, these unregulated communities were completely eradicated in the most brutal way to make way for urban developments for Bahamians. St. Fleur also refers to legal arguments suggesting that some land is leased with the permission of tenants. She also contends that some occupants were trespassers against the Crown who have acquired title by adverse possession. St. Fleur also speaks to the issue of citizenship and or residency, contending that the large Haitian ethnic group living in shantytowns are either Bahamian citizens, permanent residents, work permit holders, annual residents, and or persons to be registered as citizens of the Bahamas, whom she referred to as citizens in waiting. The applicants also challenged the lawfulness of the government's planned eviction and demolition, concluding that the notices to leave the land did not seek possession of the land, but merely instructed recipients to demolish the buildings. St. Fleur put forth the view that these notices were being used as a means to claim possession of the land without establishing any right to do so. She also expresses concern that as the August 10th deadline approaches, shantytown communities would be subject to aggressive joint operations by law enforcement, which would demoralize and terrorize them. Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News. Well, Shantytown Action Task Force Committee Chairman, Senator the Honorable Dion Folks, says the injunction will not affect the committee's action regarding shantytowns in the Family Islands.
The Prime Minister has given me firm instructions and our task force firm instructions to proceed with all of the programs that we have in the Family Islands, namely in Abaco, Eleuthera, and North Andros in particular. We have already established a task force in Abaco, which is almost 90% completed with their survey. They have to go to Hopetown this coming weekend, and we anticipate that they will be finished by early next week. So we should get a good picture in terms of the population of the 5 shantytowns in Abaco and in Hopetown. Additionally, we are establishing a task force in Eleuthera and also in Andros. So we can proceed with I think there are about 11 shantytowns on Eleuthera, but they are relatively small. The largest one, of course, is in Spanish Wells.
Minister Folks was asked specifically about the action taken by the courts and its impact on the government's plans.
We live in a democratic society, and every person who lives within the Bahamas have the right to access our legal process. It's something that's constitutionally guaranteed, and I leave it to the courts to decide. The court injunction is specific to New Providence only. The Attorney General will deal with all of the comments dealing with the court action. I will not say anything further with respect to any matters dealing with the shantytowns in New Providence.
In other news tonight, a blessing ceremony taking place today for the newly upgraded maternal and child health assessment unit at the Princess Margaret Hospital. The improvements were a joint effort by doctors and nurses at the nation's premier healthcare facility. Vern Carey has the story.
The newly upgraded Maternal and Child Health Day Assessment Unit at the Princess Margaret Hospital is expected to significantly improve the experience for expecting mothers. The project was spearheaded by doctors and nurses from the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology and is expected to address ongoing complaints about conditions at the hospital. Head of the department, Dr. Leon Dupuch.
It cost us about $25,000 of department funds. It's hard to really explain without having seen what it looked like before, but the floor you're standing on used to look like the vinyl tile that you see out front that's quite stained and not very pleasant to look at. So we've re-tiled the entire labor ward. We've fixed the nurses' station. Tried to put a little Bahamian artwork up on the wall, as you can see behind you, and a paint job and also changed the ceiling tiles.
Now, doctors and nurses worked steadily to ensure that this initiative became a reality here at Princess Margaret Hospital.
We felt that we needed a standalone space for mothers who were not in labor. What we found is that we had a huge overcrowding problem in labor ward. So now we have introduced an entire space for mothers who may not be in labor but who would need to be assessed. So, for example, mothers with coughs and colds, mothers who might have ruptured their membranes, i.e. their water bag might have burst, mothers who are having pain but are not necessarily in labor. So we have a dedicated staff for this area. We have a dedicated nurse for this area. We're so proud to announce that. And we have an ultrasound unit for this area, as well as the monitors required for mother and baby.
Area Manager Bertha Mason says the upgraded maternity unit will be fully staffed.
So we do have the complement of staff that we would need to run the day assessment unit. We have just recently had 14 new midwives who will be entering into the department. So this would help us with our cadre of staff.
Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Discussions are ongoing between health officials and the Bahamas Nurses Union over the controversial 4-on, 4-off shift, which the Public Hospitals Authority wants to put in place. The president of the Bahamas Nurses Union fears the recently proposed shift will result in staff burnout, increased medical error, and overall declines in quality service. Meantime, Deputy Hospital Administrator Jessica Cartwright is hoping the matter will be resolved amicably.
The union has been engaged with us. I cannot today tell you where we stand with that, but I do know it's something that the ministry and the PHA is working through with the nurses union.
Cartwright also spoke to the new fee structure, which is expected to be implemented at the PMH.
In discussions, we all know that healthcare is not free, and we also know and appreciate that the government has certain mandates. We do have a gazette that we have to follow for our fee structure, and we are asking the public to appreciate that. But the work to actually inform the public as to where we're going with our fees is ongoing.
Meantime, Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands says he's looking to resolve those outstanding issues with the nurses very soon. Just last week, the Nurses Union called a press conference to set the record straight on a number of outstanding issues, including outstanding money. He says numerous meetings have taken place within the union and health officials outside of cabinet today. Mr. Sands explained how those concerns will be addressed.
I believe that we have made excellent progress in terms of resolving not just some, but all of the issues. And it is hoped that certainly with this pay period in August 2018, that except for those items that can't be verified or can't be validated, that all of those issues should not only be resolved but paid. Nurses play an important role in the delivery of health care. Certainly my administration in health has made their concerns an absolute priority. And so we are willing to move the inertia of government, the bureaucracy of government, to get their issues resolved and the issues of any employee of the Ministry of Health.
Well, the health minister says he's anxious to get the matter behind him and focus on patient care.
We're going to get this resolved. And then afterwards, we're going to sit down and we're going to have a ceremonial or metaphoric breaking of bread because we are partners in the provision of health, and I have no interest in maintaining anything other than a good, amicable working relationship with all of the stakeholders in health. So this too shall pass.
Well, he's not a practicing physician at the moment, but Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis will be seeing clients this summer. In keeping with his commitment of accountability to the Bahamian people during the parliamentary recess and commencing Wednesday, 8th of August and each Wednesday through September 12th, the Prime Minister will dedicate 3 hours between 9 a.m. and 12 noon to hear the concerns of members of the public. Individuals are asked to call the office of the Prime Minister to confirm appointments. They can call telephone number 702-5500. Meetings will be limited to 10 minutes only in an effort to accommodate as many persons as possible. Well, stay tuned. There's more news to come. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell, fueling journeys that matter. Summer promotion.
Get ready! Commonwealth Bank wants to make this your best summer ever. Get the loan you need at a special discount this summer only. Cash for your best vacation, best laughs, best memories. And want to know the best part? You could win a trip for 4. So don't wait. The discount ends soon. Talk to us today about your best summer ever loan. Approval is fast and easy. Conditions apply.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come running. No matter the
I got into comedy from the day I was born, and I look up and I saw who my parents was. I know my life is gonna be interesting.
The Bahamian people inspire me, like 100%.
I think the keys of the success to the band Visage has been the ability to stay relevant for the many years that the band has been around.
Technology, it keeps me connected.
What technology have done for me is priceless.
I don't know how I would be able to survive without it.
If I would describe BTC into one word, I would say innovative.
Family all around.
Communications lifeblood of the Bahamas.
What would you do with your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes? Show your KFC bucket love and get a chance to win your part of $50,000 in cash and prizes. Display your bucket love sticker for a chance to win. You could be one of 10 gold ticket winners with a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize and get started on your bucket list. Stick it to win today. Bucket love. KFC Nassau. It's finger licking good.
There's nothing as powerful as knowing where you belong. No more waiting. It's time to come home. Come home to friendly smiles. Come home to convenience. Come home to more interest on savings and lower fees. Come home to our bank and your bank. Come home to Bank of the Bahamas, your bank of solutions.
We start with a yes, but when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel anywhere. Fly on any airline, anywhere, and anytime, with no blackout dates. Plus, with just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
An agreement is scheduled to be signed tomorrow at the office of the Prime Minister between the Bahamas government and the United States on narcotics control and law enforcement. Press Secretary Anthony Newbold made the announcement today.
This amendment will focus on anti-corruption and transparency-related initiatives. And we know, again, this is something that the Prime Minister is very much concerned with. However, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honourable Darren Henfield, will sign that amendment on behalf of the Bahamas. Ceremony, of course, will take place right here upstairs in the office of the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister, of course, as I said, anti-corruption and transparency-related initiatives, the Prime Minister will take the opportunity to speak during that ceremony.
In other news, the Economic Empowerment Zones bill that was recently passed in the House of Assembly will have its first reading in the Senate tomorrow before being debated on Thursday. Mr. Newbold spoke about the town meetings planned to inform the community on the benefits of the legislation.
The over-the-hill redevelopment initiative will be on its way. 2 workshops I talked about as well last week that are related to this Economic Empowerment Zones bill will be held this week. In fact, the first one will be held tonight. Both of those workshops will be held at the Salem Union Baptist Church on Taylor Street, beginning at 6:30. And business owners, homeowners, renters will be schooled on the concessions that will be made available to them.
Opposition leader Philip Brave Davis addressing the deal which fell through to purchase the Grand Lucayan in Grand Bahama. Last week, Press Secretary Anthony Newbold told reporters that the Wynn Group's proposal was unacceptable to the government, but Davis is blaming the government for the deal not being finalized.
We simply say that the PLP government held productive negotiations with Mr. Wynn and agreed on a framework on the way forward for the purchase, repair, and opening of the hotel. This administration owes the people of Grand Bahama a full and frank explanation as to why it was unable to close the sale of the Grand Lucayan Hotel in Grand Bahama. The lack of transparency and uncertainty due to misleading announcements surrounding the hotel's future, in my view and our view, have irreversibly eroded both hope and confidence of Grand Bahamians.
2 people were killed in traffic mishaps overnight, both of them pedestrians. The accidents have prompted police to make a call to road users. Here's Sieska Adderley.
2 men are dead after being hit by vehicles just hours apart in 2 separate incidents. The most recent, which occurred shortly after 3 o'clock Tuesday morning, a man was walking on Graham Drive, Yellow Elder Gardens, in the area of Tom the Bird Grant Park when he was struck by a silver 2-door car, which left the scene. Paramedics attempted to revive him, however, he succumbed to those injuries. Sergeant Jerron Thompson from the Traffic Division, who was on the scene, says he's noticing that hit and runs are becoming a trend, and here's why.
It is increasing due to the fact that persons, they are not insured or they are not licensed drivers, so they will tend to flee the scene rather than to face the consequences.
And what exactly are the consequences for motorists who flee the scene?
By not staying on the scene, automatically you're going to be charged with failing to remain stationary on the scene of an accident.
Police have since confirmed that the driver has turned himself in and is assisting them with their investigations. Concerned resident Shane Ombrister, who was also on the scene of that Graham Drive incident, is calling for measures to be put in place that would force drivers to slow down, as speeding is common in the area.
You really do need speed bumps because cars will be coming through your speeding, and especially when school is out and in. They come here speeding and they don't even stop. The government got to put some speed bumps or some kind of saying that slow down, but be vigilant of the little kids going to school and also for the adults that's walking across the road. So especially the curve. Mm-hmm. There's a curve off Ground Drive. People come speeding and they don't look out for pedestrians.
And just hours before that, shortly before 9 Monday night, traffic police were called to Carmichael Road just east of Boatswain Hill. Superintendent Marino Hines on how that tragedy unfolded.
Reports are that a 2012 Mercedes traveling east on Carmichael Road in the thoroughfare struck a male pedestrian. EMS was called and they were administering sustenance to this individual. A short time later, approximately 30 minutes, a 2000 Ford Expedition, also traveling east, struck the ambulance, but before doing so, struck an officer who was investigating the accident.
Now, in light of these two fatalities, officers are urging motorists not to get behind the wheel if they're unable to adhere to the country's traffic laws, because failure to do so could result in someone's death or even your very own. C.S. Scotterly, ZNS Network News.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
There was a starbull tree on Ruby Lane that I used to sit and think and use as my quiet time. I would go there whenever things got unbearable, and it seems as if I couldn't make it. I would always reflect on the positive values that my mother instilled in me. Sometimes I stayed there for 10 minutes, sometimes an hour. And for every time, I would leave knowing that I can make it.
The proceeding was brought to you courtesy of the Over the Hill project.
Know how you can save more money, save more time, earn more interest, and have more for the future? The solution is an account from Fidelity Bank. With our ASU Savings, fixed deposits, and preferred client program, you can get free financial advice from our team of experts, competitive interest rates, and free online banking for simple and safe banking anytime, anywhere. Open a fixed deposit or savings account with Fidelity by visiting a branch today. Get into the rhythm of saving with Fidelity. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Independence Day, sunny days, regattas, and homecomings are all a part of Bahamian summers, as are the weekly specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Feliz Ready-Cut Macaroni 400-gram box, 99 cents. Whole chicken wings, $1.59 per pound. Kraft salad dressings, 8-ounce bottle, 2 for $3. Joy Dish Liquids, 30-ounce size, $2.99. Sweet cherries, $3.99 per pound. Carolina Pride Ham, 10-ounce size, $2.99. Bahamian and proud, that's Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
We've all got plans for our golden years. Unfortunately for many, this may just be wishful thinking. To generate an annual income in retirement of $70,000 for 20 years at a rate of return of 5%, with inflation running at 3%, requires more than $1.1 million. So how do you save that much money? Many companies provide a group pension plan to help their employees by deducting an amount each month from their pay to contribute to the plan. Personal Pension Plan, or PPP, is similar to a group plan, but offered only to individuals. These plans offer many of the same benefits and features. Contact us for more information on pensions.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by. And even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
The Bahamas Red Cross is known for its extensive charity work across the country, and although the organization has multiple fundraisers every year, Director General Caroline Turnquest says a major portion of the funds raised go directly to daily operational expenses.
We have the Meals on Wheels program. We have persons walking and looking for assistance, and so those funds are needed for the day-to-day running of our programs. And the fair has not been quite as successful for the past few years, and the ball has been successful. However, when those funds come in, those monies are spent already. We're also looking at having other fundraisers, because we find now that the fundraisers that we're having are insufficient to cover all of the expenses associated with running those programs.
Well, Turnquest further explains plans for those new fundraisers.
Currently, we're planning a golf tournament to be held on August 26th, and we're also getting ready for our annual raffle. So very, very soon, you should see the raffle tickets hitting the streets. And this is where we need the public support so drastically to help us to push those tickets to make sure that we raise funds. We are now trying to put back funds that we would have used to purchase food, to purchase bedding, to purchase cleaning supplies, etc. We are now looking to put those funds, replace those funds.
A top basketball team in the United States here to play some games, finding a way to give back. Charles Fisher has exactly how far the good gesture has gone.
Kids in the Fox Hill area getting a special treat from the Kentucky Wildcats basketball team and Samaritan's Feet, a global humanitarian organization headed by Manny O'Honey.
That's trying to help create and inspire hope among some of the world's most impoverished by providing the shoe as a basis to really inspire their hope, as a symbol to go walk in their destiny. Over 1.5 billion people around the world don't have shoes or infected with some type of disease that can be cured by having shoes. So we go around the world providing shoes as a framework where we can actually serve them. So our volunteers actually become global servant leaders that gets a chance to watch every recipient's feet, ask them about their dream and encourage them to dream big, dream to stay in school.
Over 200 pairs of name brand sneakers were given out.
Shoes come from everywhere. So we have partners that sponsor some of these distributions. So sometimes some people donate them, companies, individual businesses, different types of things. But the reason why we're so passionate about them actually is because I was actually a recipient myself, growing up in Africa and Nigeria. When I was 9 years old, studying water as a park, there was a group of missionaries that came to come teach us how to play basketball. I was fortunate enough to be there that day selling water when this guy said we're going to have a shooting competition. They said the prize for the winner is going to be a new pair of shoes. I ended up winning the competition, becoming the first person, not just in my family, but my entire community, to own a pair of tennis shoes. After getting the basketball scholarship to come to America later on, about 30 years ago, went back to Africa. My father passed away and I saw the need. I said somebody ought to do something about it. At that time, I didn't realize that somebody was going to be me. So we started Samaritan's Feet with a vision to put shoes in the feet of 10 million children. And then today we've served over 7 million in about 93 countries around the world.
Pastor Eric Brown of Faith Assembly of God, Johnson Road, hosted the event and was very pleased.
Well, I believe that this is an excellent event today, and I would like to say that to go ahead and give thanks to those persons who made this event all possible. Well, the kids come from the community, and some come from outside of the community. We went about comparing a list to get them, and they come from all over. As a matter of fact, some of these kids come from Carmichael Road. And some from Fox Hill, some from Pinewood Garden.
A very kind gesture. For the ZNS Network News, I'm Charles Fisher.
Yesterday, the Member of Parliament for Pinewood, Yesterday, the Member of Pinewood provided a special treat for residents of his constituency. Jimnita Swain tells us they boarded a floating hotel.
Well, Royal Caribbean is a part of this community. We've been here for over 50 years now. Our very first ship that ever sailed for Royal Caribbean Cruises came from Miami and came straight to this port, to the port of Nassau. So we're really happy to be a part of the community. We employ about 1,250 people here right now. We bring over 1.2 million visitors every single year to the Bahamas, and we love this destination. And this is a chance for us to sort of give back, I think, to a little bit to the community.
One way of giving back on Monday was allowing 30 residents, including the Member of Parliament for Pinewood, Reuben Ramming, to tour portions of the Oasis of the Seas vessel. Making up the group was Vice President of Government Relations for Royal Caribbean, Russell Banford, who touted the Bahamas as the cruise line's #1 destination they're hoping to attract more visitors to cruise to.
We have great plans for Nassau. Right now we bring 1.2 million. Our plans are to expand that in 2 years to bring up to 1.7 million people to Nassau. So the Port of Nassau and the Bahamas are our #1 destination in the world. This is an incredibly important destination to us. So the opportunities here, we're just at the beginning. We bring a lot of people now, but we're just getting started with the things we want to do with this community. So you're going to see a lot of growth from us, a lot of opportunity for jobs, for small businesses, and we just want the community in Nassau and the Bahamas to grow as we grow as a company.
Once on board, the Pinewood group toured various segments of the ship, starting at the Royal Promenade, where Hotel Director Kevin Thorogood spoke about what sets the ship apart from other vessels.
She's 225,000 gross tons, making her the largest vessel on board on the Seven Seas. We currently have just over 6,500 guests on board with us this cruise, and we have just under 2,200 crew. So 8,700 people are cruising with us every single week. And ever since she came out in 2009, she's been full every single cruise.
Member of Parliament for Pinewood Ruben Ramming is hoping more persons will see the cruise line as an option for employment.
We know that in this archipelagical nation that grandmothers play a pivotal role in guiding families. And what we want to do in Pinewood is to position our people in the spirit of get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready for opportunities that will be at hand with the expansion of great corporate citizens like the Royal Caribbean brand.
While the tour took in the entertainment areas and even a walk through Central Park before lunch, these residents were impressed with what they saw and hoped more young people are eager to take part.
Here is beautiful, it's elegant, and the opportunity is vast for our young Bahamians to come and take part. I've seen that they have a lot of job opportunity.
It's tourism on the sea. And I believe that this would be the next best thing to develop in terms of our employment for young people who are seeking new adventure, new employment.
Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Well, that does it for this segment of news. Stay tuned, though. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
Whether you're renovating your home, furthering your education, or shopping for a new or used vehicle, RBC offers flexible and convenient financing that fits your budget. Apply online or visit your nearest RBC branch for expert advice on how RBC can help you get a flexible, customized loan at a great rate. RBC, reimagine how you bank.
Go global, Bahamas! Introducing Welty.com, the newest online shopping sensation, providing you with the lowest pricing and everything you want and need. You can now shop in comfort and gain access to any items such as living room, dining room, and bedroom sets, all electronics, washing detergents, school clothing, high-quality human hair, health supplements, air conditioners, watches, underwear, the finest colognes and perfumes, or anything at the lowest prices ever. And all deliveries are free. So visit the website, welty.com. That's WHELTY.com. We make your life so much easier. Little Generals on East Street South is well known for the best quality and lowest prices on all your grocery and houseware needs. Little Generals has a large selection of meats, produce, dairy items, water and juices, all your favorite snacks, housewares, vegan products, gourmet items, and health supplements. Anything you can think of, it's all sold right here at Little Generals. Little Generals also provides the best customer service, making you want to come back again and again. So visit Little Generals today on East Street South. Call 325-5798.
G&M Appliances on Robinson Road has all your air conditioning needs this summer, like the Comfort Star 9000 and 12,000 BTU 13 SEER for just $399. Or how about the Comfort Star 18,000 BTU just $599? Or how about the Comfort Star 24,000 or 36,000 at the lowest prices possible? We also carry a large selection of air conditioning parts such as fans, compressors, filters, capacitors, or any part you may need. So, call today at 328-2083. We're located on Robinson Road.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today. Or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
All right, it's time now for a check of your weather forecast. And it was another hot one out there, Basil. How are you?
Pretty hot day with just 1 or 2 passing showers, mainly over the open waters. And right now we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family Islands. And they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 86 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Turtle Key as well. Marsh Harbor, a little warmer at 88 degrees. The Ballast Harbor at 85, 84 in Alderstown, Bimini. Harbor Island, 83, Roxanne, Eleuthera, 84, 83 in Otterstown, Cat Island. Stanley Key, 85 degrees, 85 also in Kemps Bay, St. Andrews, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. San Salvador, 83, Rum Key also 83, and that extends right into Georgetown, Exuma, Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, 84, Betsy Bay, Maguana, 83, 83 in Acklands, Ragged Island at 84, Matthewtown, Inagua, 85 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the Northwest and Central Islands tonight through Wednesday, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Those wave heights are around 2 to 4 feet. The low tide at 10:29 tonight. Low tide will take place at 10:32 tomorrow morning. For the southeast Bahamas tonight through tomorrow, easterly winds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet with a moderate chop. Caution flags are up for you boaters in the southeast Bahamas. And then on Thursday for the Northwest and Central Islands, the winds will fall off light and variable with very flat sea conditions, 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. Low tide 11:29 in the morning, high tide at 5:56 in the afternoon. For the southeast Bahamas on Thursday, winds backing, becoming northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your trial forecast, and your trial forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your trial forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 20 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Spirituality is the way you find meaning, hope, comfort, and inner peace in your life. Many people find spirituality through religion. Some people find it through music, art, or connection with nature. Others find it in their values and principles. No one really knows for sure how spirituality is related to health. However, it seems the body, mind, and spirit are connected. The health of any one of these elements seems to affect the others. Some research shows a connection between your beliefs and your sense of well-being. Positive beliefs, comfort, and strength gained from religion, meditation, and prayer can contribute to well-being. It may even promote healing. Improving your spiritual health may not cure illness, but it may help you to feel better. It also may prevent some health problems and help you cope better with illness, stress, or death. If you want to improve your spiritual health, you may want to try the following ideas. However, remember that everyone is different and what works for others may not work for you. Do what is comfortable for you. Identify the things in your life that give you a sense of inner peace, comfort, strength, and love, and connection. Set aside time every day to do the things that help you spiritually. These may include community service or volunteer work, praying, meditating, singing devotional songs, reading inspirational books, taking nature walks, or having quiet time for thinking, doing yoga, playing a sport, or attending religious services. If you have spiritual beliefs, worries, or concerns that are causing you stress, talk with your family doctor. If your doctor can't help you with these issues, he or she may be able to suggest someone who can. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Crystal Darling. Outback Bahamas is expanding to Western New Providence. Construction will begin this fall with an unveiling date set for Mother's Day 2019. Company officials say the New Providence expansion represents an investment of some $2 million, creating hundreds of Bahamian jobs in both the construction and post-construction phases. They also say that they are happy to give customers who live in Western New Providence the great food, great price, and service which they have come to know and love a little closer to home. In other business news, the Caribbean Development Bank and the United Kingdom Department for International Development have signed an agreement which will add $30 million to the United Kingdom Caribbean Infrastructure Partnership Fund. The agreement was signed last month, and the majority of the funds will be used to establish a reconstruction window to respond to emergencies and natural disasters. And in international business news, Walt Disney Company is scheduled to report third quarter earnings after the market closed Tuesday. Disney's third quarter earnings come as the entertainment giant is in the process of acquiring major parts of 21st Century Fox. In July, shareholders of both companies approved the $71.3 billion cash and stock deal to combine Disney with Fox Film and Television Studios. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Crystal Darling.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
What things do you value? Even if we value something, we can still lose or misplace it, like a credit card. You can freeze your Visa credit or debit card from CIBC First Caribbean in a flash to stop unauthorized use. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We wash it, the presents and clean the suit. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring on your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring on your children's clothes. Super wash.
James Aubrey. Now that Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the family islands, what are your summer vacation plans?
I'm going to Abaco.
And there is no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the family islands from Nassau. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the family islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com and fly or cruise free to the family islands today.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Freedom Farm Baseball representing the Bahamas at the Cal Ripken Babe Ruth 12 and Under World Series in Branson, Missouri. The 2-4-2 getting off to a winning start on Saturday, taking down Australia 14-4 behind winning pitcher Cleve Sutherland. They followed that up with another impressive win, 12-1 over New Zealand yesterday. Andrew Arthur was the winning pitcher going the distance. He allowed no hits and struck out 8. Also gutted the plate with 2 runs batted in and a run scored. LeVaro DeVoe, he finished with a home run, 3 runs batted in and 3 runs scored. Daniel Gator also with 3 runs batted in and a run scored. The Bahamas, they were back on the field today as well, and they suffered their first loss, 8-3 to Puerto Rico. Arthur had the only 3 hits for the Bahamas, which included a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Team Bahamas plays again tomorrow in the classification rounds. The Bahamas also taking part in the CONCACAF Girls Under-15 Soccer Championships currently going on in Florida. The 2-4-2 lost their opening match 4-1 to the Cayman Islands yesterday. Gabrielle Sims scored the lone goal for Team Bahamas, who was right back on the pitch today against St. Lucia. They were shut out there 2-0, and tomorrow is an off day, with the Bahamas returning to action on Thursday against Guyana, who sports an identical 0-2 win-loss record. Back here at home, the Bahamas Basketball Federation's Summer of Thunder Series resuming tomorrow with 3 games. Notre Dame and IBA Elite tip things off 5 p.m. at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. Alabama State will follow at 7 against the Atlantis All-Stars, also beginning 7 p.m. at the Imperial Arena in Atlantis. The Kentucky Wildcats begin their Big Blue Tour, a 4-game series. First up will be on men's national team, and Kentucky coach John Calipari just happy to be back in paradise.
This is like paradise, but we also get a chance to get some work done, and the environment for me to really evaluate my team against really good opponents. We all come together and we see where we are at this point and where I've got to take the team. And do that, to do all that in this environment, I mean, it was a 2 hour and 15-minute flight. And we're here. So this is a great place for us. You know, we did it 4 years ago. We did it when we played Arizona State, and hope to do it again and play a team down here where it's kind of a neutral game.
Before taking to the floor tomorrow night, the Wildcats paying a special visit to the Fox Hill community today, thanks to Samaritan's Feet, which is a global humanitarian organization that gave out over 200 pairs of name brand sneakers.
Many of the players you see in there are going to end up being NBA players. They're going to have fame, they're going to have wealth, and before they leave me, I want them to understand what true joy is when you do something for someone else, when you reach back and you pick someone else up, when you truly are a servant leader serving others. It brings joy. It makes life easier. When you're just gathering and drinking that poison fame, you know, you're always searching for stuff like this. And if they get that feeling when they're 17 and 18 and 19, they'll keep chasing it.
Last night, also a big one in Fox Hill as the Hooping by the Park basketball tournament came to an end with the championship games. In the men's division, we can tell you that the Rocket Launchers held off the Monsters 65-63 in overtime behind MVP Patrick Leedon. Tyrell Butler, he was the MVP of the under-19 division. He led the Eagles Nest past the Red Barons 84-63. Meantime, in the under-16s, it was SM Elites winning over the Ballers Elites 54-39. Jaden Strong, the MVP. As for the three-point contest, that was won by Larikas and Brister. Devontae Gibson won the slam dunk. The tournament wasn't all about the action on the court, though. 4 deserving individuals also honored. They included Stanford Davis, the late Ruben Cheetah Knowles, the late Reginald Bobby Demerit, and the late Roberto McKinney. The Black Point Regatta and Homecoming closing out yesterday in Exuma. Charles Fisher has a recap.
The Riddy K was in a class by itself, taking all 3 series and the ocean race. By virtue of its domination, the top C-class sloop in the country has been dubbed the Winning K. Stephen Knowles was named the top skipper, 11 straight wins in Black Point.
I see them come out with a different strategy. I don't know my game plan to move forward to get another half a knot of the Riddy K. I don't know what I got to do. We already know what we got to do, so that ain't no secret. They could upgrade, but we upgrading more. We spend a lot of money on that boat. Don't let nobody kid you. We always keep the boat up. We're always making new things, new booms, fixing masts, keeping the boat painted up, buying new sails. We don't ever stop spending money on that boat.
Crazy Partner came in second, followed by H2O. Riddy K owner Jason Knowles, this boat is hard to beat.
You know, we're going to keep going until we run out, because sometimes when you lose this winning streak, sometimes you be in the sport, you never get it back again. So we're going to take it as far as we can take it. But, first of all, I want to give God thanks and praise, and I want to thank the Black Point people for the hospitality. They're very great people over here. Every year we come over here and enjoy ourselves.
Skipper only as good as the crew he leads.
These guys have to upgrade their equipment, upgrade their sloops. Don't be sailing with equipment that's 25, 30 years old. And we just bought a new sail 1 month ago. You have to keep up the par. You have to get the best equipment. And then when you have the best equipment, try to recruit the best crew to come and challenge you with a game. If you can't do that, then you're going to get beat every time. That's why we got 11 straight in Black Point.
Riddy K now looking forward to the best of the best at the end of the year. For ZNS Toll Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
While Black Point was all about Stephen Knowles and Whitty K once again, Stephen himself wanted to single out another individual who he thinks doesn't get the credit he deserves, and that's his brother Mark.
Mark has built so many boats in this country right here in Black Point. More than half the fleet that raced here over the weekend was built by Mark. And it was too bad that he couldn't come. He was busy doing something in Nassau. But this country really needs to do something for my brother Mark. They talk about national heroes. They talk about all these politicians. I don't think there's 10 people in this Bahamas that did so much for the development of these islands and what my brother Mark Knowles did.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Hundreds of extraordinary Bahamians make up the heart and soul of Commonwealth Brewery's dedicated team. Influencing each generation, there's one sound that is undeniably Bahamian, the sound of the cowbell.
We actually brew this beer from scratch, all done by Bahamians. I've been with CBL now for 32 years.
27 years.
18 years. 23 years.
If it's made in the Bahamas by Bahamians, then of course it is Bahamian.
The public is advised that for its convenience, the passport office issuance section only will be open for collection of passports on the following Saturdays during the month of August 2018 from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturday, August 4th, Saturday, August 11th, Saturday, August 18th, Saturday, August 25th. Where applicable, members of the public are reminded to bring their receipts and passports at the time of collection. Please note that all third-party collections must be accompanied by a signed letter of authorization from the passport holder or guardian, relevant passport and receipt, and a valid government-issued identification, passport, driver's license, or NIB smart card of the person authorized to collect.
The Bahamas has quite a story to tell. The sweep of its history and the distinctiveness of its people and culture weave a tale that captivates and fascinates anyone who hears it. From our pirate past to our quiet revolution, from cave paintings in Rum Cay to the creations on Bay Street every Boxing Day and New Year's. There are stories of shocking strife and stunning revival, devastating loss and spectacular success. And above all, the wonderful human story of how Bahamians settled and thrived on these barren rocks and keys, developed a vibrant culture, and created the best little country in the world. This year, ZNS TV 13 will be honoring this wonderful legacy with the 13 on TV 13 documentary series on all kinds of subjects, designed to inform, educate, and entertain you, and share with you, the people, their stories, and the glories that is the Bahamas. We invite you to join us.
Did you bring the thing?
What thing?
Protection.
Come on, man. You really want to ruin the moment with that?
I actually think it will help the moment. No worries. Now we can continue. Next time, step your game up.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, subtropical storm Debbie formed over the warm waters of the north central Atlantic earlier today, and it's now packing winds of about 40 miles per hour as it moves toward the north around 15 miles per hour. We expect some slowdown of this system over the next several hours as it moves over the cooler waters of the Atlantic, and that will also lead to a weakening of this system within the next 24 hours. So we don't anticipate much development out of Debbie other than it being a menace to mariners traversing the Atlantic Ocean. And then on the home front, we have that tropical wave now moving across the northwest Bahamas, and that's providing some cloudiness, as you can see right here. In that cloud is embedded some isolated showers, which will pop up occasionally during the night as that system gradually moves its way into the Gulf of Mexico, leaving behind a weak high-pressure system, which will produce some fairly light winds over the northwest and central island, a little stiffer still in the southeast at around 12 to 18 knots. Tonight, we're going in for partly cloudy and warm conditions, with your low temperature getting down to 79 degrees. And tomorrow, pretty much a cut of today, mostly sunny and hot with a brief isolated shower likely, high temperature 89 degrees. And the extended weather forecast, beautiful weather for the next 7 days, but we got 1 or 2 showers on Thursday, but drying out over the weekend. Beautiful weekend shaping up for you. And those temperatures are unchanged. And when you throw that relative humidity, which for the most part has been in the upper 60s to low 70s, you're coming up with heat index in the low 100s. We had 101 today as a result of a 90-degree temperature and a relative humidity of 63%.
The heat is on. Thanks, Baz. Well, that does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Don't forget to join us in the morning for the morning edition right here on ZNS Television. Good night, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
No, it was some good days. Contract days were very good days.
When the Bahamian come here, I'll say that the people here didn't even know you call, Sunday, go to work and come home and change clothes before you go.
They did a good job here. It was time, a morning you come out the house, you meet ice on the top of the water.
They were here to work and earn money. And they didn't want to create any problems. But they didn't back away from any problems that somebody foisted on them. Now, I remember them to being that kind of people.
The College of the Bahamas and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas present Remembering the Contract, a documentary dedicated to the Bahamian men and women who worked on the contract, also known as the project, between 1943 and 1965.
The year was 1943. Internationally, the Second World War was in progress. As a result of the war, many domestic agricultural workers in the United States became involved in other activities, such as the manufacturing of artillery and other munitions, warships, and military clothing. Some were drafted into the United States Armed Services. Growers began experiencing severe labor shortages, which resulted in a scarcity of agricultural produce for American and Allied forces in battle and civilians in America and around the world. The cry was raised, who will prepare and harvest our crop? Requests were made to the United States Department of Agriculture to bring in Bahamian workers.